Hello and welcome to another episode of Toothless MMA Radio Series Quick Hitters. I'll be your host, John Galloway, and today, as we look at the world of combat sports, I'll be joined by my guest, Rakim Cleveland. Rakim, John Galloway, Toothless MMA, how's it going today?
It's going pretty good. Just in between training sessions, getting ready for this epic battle I have coming up.
Yeah, that fight is going to be coming up 10 days from today on August 22nd. It's going to be in Fayetteville, in the Carolinas, North Carolina, for Titan FC, and you're going to be fighting Steve Montgomery. So, are you in camp right now?
I'm currently in camp, just in between training sessions. We'll be going right back after training tonight around 5 o'clock Central Time.
So when are you going to be wrapping up your camp?
This is my last hard week of really getting in there and getting after it with the guys, and we're just focusing on a few small things, and we'll be dialing it down here probably around Friday, just going more into technique mode. So
how'd the camp work for you? Was it a good camp? How did it turn out for you so far?
It's been a really good camp. Tough. It's always a tough camp. I train with some rough guys, and we get in there and we bang each other up, and we don't play around. It's been injury free for the most part, and I'm happy about that. No complaints. I'll be ready when it comes down to the 22nd.
Now, on the 22nd, you're going to be fighting Steve Montgomery. Do you know anything about him?
I know he's a welterweight. He's stepping up for the first time, I believe, fighting me at middleweight. He's a long rangey guy. He likes to throw nice kicks, nice combinations. He uses his distance well. He looks pretty slick off of his ground game. But other than that, I really don't know much about him. I know he's fought a few decent guys, so it'll be a good test for me.
Well, you guys are roughly the same height. He's listed as just an inch above you, and he had previously been fighting around 170. So this is a step up in weight classes for him, but the reach isn't really going to be that much of a difference. Are you used to fighting guys that are similar height to you, or are you used to fighting shorter guys, taller guys? How is that going to play into your game?
I've really pretty much fought them all. I've had fights where I've been the shorter guy and had a little bit shorter reach. I've been a guy when I've had a substantial reach on guys. It really depends on really the game plan that we're working on how I'll fight guys. I'm not really too much worried about what he has to do. It's me imposing my game plan into play and hopefully coming out with a big victory.
Now, without giving away too much of the game plan, where do you see your strengths over him coming up on the 22nd?
With him moving up in a weight class, I think I would definitely have, as far as not height but size, I'll be a little thicker than him. So strength should play into my role a little bit more. And striking, I feel like when it comes down to striking, I can throw hands and kicks with the best of them. So that's more of my forte, is more of what I'm known for. But I'll be prepared to go anywhere the fight goes.
Now, Rakim, how did you get started in MMA? What's your base? What's your background?
I grew up in a boxing gym. My dad was a boxer. My brothers, we all grew up around the sport of boxing. So the striking and stand-up comes naturally for me. I actually got into the MMA game in college, hanging out with some of my roommates. They were into it. They wanted me to come out and try it. I did. I liked it. I had my first amateur fight, just under 8 weeks into training, and kind of went from there. I fell in love with it, and I'm just trying to learn every day and keep evolving my game.
Now, going into a fight against somebody that you're familiar with, but really, haven't had an opportunity to study him, you had mentioned that you look to control more of what you can control as opposed to what he's going to do. Tell me how that mindset works when you go into the cage and you look to impose your will on a fighter. What happens when it's going good, and what happens when there's more of a challenge there than you were hoping for?
When it's going good, it makes things that much more easier to do what you want to do and capitalize on the openings you see. When there's a little bit more resistance than you were looking for from the opponent, it just makes things a little tougher. You have to focus and listen to your corners because they can see more openings than what you see, and you have to trust the guys that you train with every day that help you put together the camp and the game plan, and just kind of keep going your own pace and chipping away, and eventually it's gonna come to fruition for you.
Now, I'm glad you mentioned that the way you said that you got to listen to your corner and because they can see openings that you might not necessarily see. When you're in the cage and when you're in the middle of a fight, is it hard to hear your corner? Is it something that you just train your body to pull their voices out of the crowd noise, or is it kind of in between rounds that you're really talking about getting that advice?
It's kind of a mixture of all. When you listen to the same guys talk to you every day, and they're coaching you and yelling at you and talking to you throughout training, it's just that much easier to hear them over the crowd noise. It kind of almost seems like everything else is tuned out but the person that's talking to you that you hear every day. So it makes it a lot easier to hear, a lot easier to focus in on what they're saying without having to stop and wait and trying to survive between the rounds and then catch your breath and listen at the same time.
See, that's interesting because my wife tells me that I tune her out every day and I hear her all the time. So it's interesting to hear that as a fighter you're tuned into that person. Maybe it's something on my end here. I don't know.
Yeah, I get that a lot from my wife also.
So now coming up, this isn't the first time that you've been on the big stage. This might be the biggest organization you've been with in Titan, but you've fought for titles before. What do you think's going to be like when you walk out in North Carolina and the lights are on, and you think you're going to feel the jitters, or is this just another day at the office?
There's always going to be some kind of jitters there, but when it comes down to it, it's just another day at the office. Well, the way we envision a fight is a glorified sparring match. We go hard every day in training, and it's no different than when we step into the cage, other than there's a crowd there watching and cameras around. It's just another day for me. I'm going to be in there. I'm going to fight hard. I'm going to do what I got to do, and I plan on getting my hand raised.
Now, so far this year, you've had 2 fights. You started the year in February with a loss. You came back 4 months later, and you got a win. But looking back at last year, 2013, you had 6 fights. Did that take a toll on your body, or was that you were winning, things were going good, and you just wanted to keep that momentum flowing?
It was a little bit of both. Me winning and finishing fights quick kind of limited the wear and tear I took as far as fighting. I try to stay in shape no matter what to be able to take fights whenever I can. So I try to get in there and finish fast as I can. When we get in there quick and finish quick and take no damage, I go right back into training and don't miss a beat. I'm not one of those guys that went in a fight and disappeared for a couple of weeks. I'm right back in there on Monday. So it's been a slow year for me because of last year. There's a lot of guys that don't really want to step to fight me. So hopefully that just continues. I mean, it sucks that it's hard for me to get fights, but it's also a good thing. It's showing that people are, skeptical about stepping in the cage with me, and that's what you want. You want to be a serious fighter. You don't want to be the guy that everyone's chopping at the bit to get into that with.
Now, you mentioned that you like to finish fights early. You have fights that went 29 seconds, 7 seconds, 44 seconds, 48 seconds. You don't seem like a guy that wants to hang around in the cage very often. What do you think you can attribute your fast starts to?
Fast starts, for me, they come from really just training. We get in there, we warm up, and we get right after it. We don't sit around and talk. We talk after training's done. The guys I train with are very serious about what we do, and they don't like to waste time. We get, a couple hours per session, per class, and we have multiple classes, so we get in there and get after it. I warm up hard. I come out ready to fight, and it's just how things seem to fall into place for me. I see openings, I attack, and they finish quick.
Now, tell me about the guys at the gym. You train with Round Kick Gym, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, are you...
I train with...
Go ahead. No, I was just going to ask, are you the top guy there, or do you have other guys that are right around the same level that are pushing you?
I'm not the top guy at my gym. I train with a lot of tough guys, a lot of guys that have been there and done that. I train with Josh Neer, Elvis Mutafic, who just congratulations him, just came off a victory this weekend in the World Series of Fighting. Victor Moreno, Jordan Young, he's a young up and comer that is really, really, really good at what he does. I'm not one of the bottom guys, I'm definitely not the top, and the older guys who mentor me, they've been there around a lot of different scenarios, and I just learn from them the best I can.
Excellent. Now, you touched on it briefly earlier. Give me your prediction for the fight.
I just think this fight's going to be a very explosive fight. He's a young guy who has lots of skills in different areas, and I'm a young guy who I'm able to explode in many different positions and in different ways. So I don't see this fight going the distance. Whether it's him with his hand raised or me with my hand raised, I see a finish coming, and knockout submission doesn't matter to me how it goes. But I love to put people out with my hands and kicks. So hopefully that's the way it is.
All right. Well, helping you along the way are going to be some sponsors that either provide you with gear, provide you with training things. Who are some of the sponsors that have been helping you out?
I have quite a list of guys that help me out. Xavier Clothing, Max Muscle, they do my nutrition and everything for me. Maximum Fitness, they provide me with the place to get my strength and conditioning in. Priority Health and Fitness, those guys really take care of me. I think some of the best people in the Midwest as far as keeping my body feeling good. Sponsored by Doc's Lounge. There's this place where they open their doors to people come in and watch me fight when I'm not in state. USA Fight Company, they provide me with a lot of different apparel also. And then local barbershops, you can't get away from them. Hooking me up with haircuts and making me look nice for the camera. Supreme Cuts out there doing their thing in Des Moines. And I also like to give a big shout out to my new sponsor I just hooked up with. It's Straight Razors at straightrazors.com.
Awesome. Now, the fight is coming up. It's going to be broadcast on CBS Sports Network. It's going to be Friday, the 22nd of August at 10 p.m. For the people that can get there, it's going to be in Fayetteville, North Carolina. For the people that can't get there, but they want to follow up, they want to see how the fight went, they want to see what you have coming up in your future, where can people follow and get more news on you?